Heard you.
Boom shakalaka. It is Saturday. It is Who Run the City. It is tea time. It is Big Fan Breezy. You already know the vibbery. We in the building.
Mhm.
Great show last night with
Yep.
the Cook
Cook Coach
Culture
Love.
Live. Yes, sir. A lot of great energy. You know, season around the corner, so I expect these convos on Cook Culture Live to get only more intense. You know what I mean?
Right around the corner.
Shout out
Right.
to the So Greasy for pulling up, man. My boy was going crazy last night. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Leaf. Yeah, I mean, definitely good work last night. My guy
Facts.
Fraz. I mean, Brock Work was in the building. I don't know if he's still here right now. Kev was here. I don't know if he's still
Mhm.
here right now, but
Did
shout out
you
to
did you get
everybody.
part of that fantasy joint that Brockworth got going?
Bro, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Fantasy is a lot of work, bro.
Okay.
Fantasy is a lot of work. That's an
I never did
everyday
it. This is
job.
my first time doing it.
Yeah, that's an everyday job, bro. No, I'm
Okay.
going to lose because I'm gonna have rosters being put together by default because I'm just not going to do what I'm supposed to do for the fantasy team. So
Mhm.
you know what? If I'm not in it to win it, I'm not going to be in it at all. Pause. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
now I think it's a $50 pot at the end of it. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Alif, we got you. We gonna make sure you get that. We got like a few more slots open. Um, yeah, we'll get to it.
Or T
Um,
Time don't like losing, bro. And if I can't if I can't win, I don't want to participate.
Talk to me though. What happened last? You said I didn't get a chance to ask you. You said you won some games because of the parlay law, Fraz Tash
Oh
last
yeah,
season.
yeah. Last season I definitely won it. Like I think at least a cool 500 out and up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hold on. So Fraz Tash got Nick fans winning money out here. Okay.
Yeah,
I
parlay law.
respect it.
And we got a segment on next ish. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Fraz Taz with the bets. Yeah, I mean, so he
Mm-hmm.
gives his input on bets. Yeah, I mean, and listen, I want some chicken, man. That's all I can say. I
That's
I,
what's
I
up,
want
man. Shout out to
I
that.
want more chicken than I lost, and that's all I can ask for. You heard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I respect it.
You know what I
But yeah,
mean?
nah, I enjoyed last night too. Skeen showed up, Barry, he's always there. Fraz Tash, he was there. I know me and him was kicking up dust, but we kind of cleared it before the actual culture live. But it would have been dope to get it in with him. Pause. Again, I said Skeen was there.
Yeah,
I hope I'm not missing nobody. So Greasy came in, like I said, he came in, coming in hot.
Jimmy.
Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was
Jimmy J
definitely
one pulled up.
Jimmy J Wayne. Oh, I got Jimmy on the hot seat. I asked him how I was capping, and he started backpedaling. So I ain't forget you, Jimmy J One. You be talking spicy on the pages all week. That Cook Coach Alive snuck up on you. You ain't know that was fitting to happen. So yeah, man, y'all better be ready because Cook Coach Alive means anybody could get cooked. You know what I mean? I seen Barry
Yeah,
kind of under pressure there too. You know what I'm saying? But they squad is like that, but he wasn't articulating how the Suns could win it. I don't got the Suns coming out the West. I know T-Time was confident in them and last coach alive, but
nah, I saw their roster. Like at first I wasn't. Then I looked at their roster. I was like, oh, they got some, they got some supporting cast over there. Like, cause in my mind, it was like just Bradley, Bill, Kevin Durant, and Book. Then I looked at their roster. I was like, yeah, they got some ballers over there. They got some bucket getters. You feel me? Like,
what about a point guard though? And as a Knicks
yeah.
fan, what does it mean to a team to have a talent but not have a point guard to facilitate where the ball should be and when it should be there? So and who it
So,
should go to?
so I don't know if they're depending on Bradley Bill to take on a little bit of that role. Uh, Is Bradley Bill a score first person? Yeah, I think that's because he had to. But I've also seen him in games make some really good plays for other people. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I think he does have adequate court vision. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
is he going to take? You got to see what that look like. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just be like, oh, they don't have a point guard, they're not going to be good. When I believe that Bradley Bill could, facilitate that role a little bit. You know what I mean? I got to see what it look like. I'm not
So
ready to
let
write.
me let me ask you
Yeah,
this before we get into some Knicks Nets content. What about because in my opinion, Drew Holiday set the bar high for Dame Lillard. So it's not like Drew Holiday came there and did not win. That first season he was there, to my knowledge, he won it. He won it that season. You know what I'm saying? The first season he was with the Bucks, he won it. So Drew Holiday set the bar very high for Damon Lillard. Is Dame Lillard going to be as good of a point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks as Drew Holiday? I asked this question because I favor Drew Holiday's defense in the Eastern Conference over Dame Lillard's offense in the Eastern Conference.
Cameron Payne was a sneaky good pickup for Milwaukee. Sneaky good pickup. Yeah, the Cameron Payne.
Payne is from the Suns, is on the Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sneaky good pickup. I think that would help hide Damian Lillard on the defensive end. You know what I mean? And I agree. I think Drew was a major part of that team's success.
Mm-hmm.
But having Cameron Payne to help on the defensive end is going to be big for them, Pauls. And I just think Damian Lillard said it right. He was like, "Yo, so y'all gonna try to build up a wall against Giannis and have me make 8 3-pointers on y'all. So that's what y'all gonna do, or y'all gonna guard up and have Giannis do what he does and go to the rack." And I'm like, that is a conundrum.
It sounds like it could be difficult.
But if I was the coach, there would be no hiding Damian Lillard. I'm going to every other offensive possession from my team, we're going to be attacking Damian Lillard on a defensive on his defensive end. You're going to be attacking him. You're going to work all game. You're going to be by the end of the game. You're going to be too tired to shoot. We're going to send you through so many screens, put you on the floor, all that, because we know Giannis is going to be hard to stop. Like we've seen that. It ain't too much you could do. You could build the wall and then you say your prayers at that, because the wall ain't even been working like that, because he's still averaging damn near 30 points a game, right? So I put Damian Lillard through the grinder pause on the defensive end and hope that works, because offensively it's gonna be a tough night for anybody every night guarding the Milwaukee Bucks. The only thing that I see that's the best you could do is put Damian Lillard through, try to take advantage of mismatches with him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, good luck, man, to everybody. And I think their bench is still not that great. Yeah, I mean, Cameron Payne was good. Their bench is still suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's funny I'm saying this, but I think Javon Carter for the Milwaukee Bucks was a better player, a better 3-point shooter than Cameron Payne was for the Phoenix Suns.
Absolutely.
So, and they don't have Grayson Allen and Brook Lopez. He's great, but he's old. So I said that to say, how much can he do? He can do a lot when he is playing, but we talking about an 82 game series. And if they only back up is Brook Lopez, no team is perfect. And I am looking for the flaws to see how we could attack or be better than that team. I think that the Bucks are not necessarily better because of the Drew Dame situation. They have to prove it because Drew won a championship with Giannis in the quick 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Get in, get out. That's an OG classic. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't there for a long time. Got there, he stayed there for the next year, didn't work, and then the next year he got traded. To my knowledge, that's kind of how it worked for Drew Holiday.
Guard-wise, they looking real suspect, man. I'm looking at the roster right now. Outside of Damian Lillard and Cameron Payne, you really don't know who's Tata Washington. Have you ever heard of this guy?
Tata, I know the Jay-Z's friend Tata. If that's not him, then I don't know who it is. That's the only one I know.
Lindell Wigginton? Like who?
Nah.
Andre Jackson Jr.? Who?
Nah. This is yeah. I think these teams are so much better than the Brooklyn Nets, and this is why I'm doing this because I think all of these other teams are so much better than the Brooklyn Nets. But we know Boston was one of the better teams last season, and I'm gonna pull a stat up, and it shows that they had one of the best benches last season. And I even had this conversation with T. Tom about how well Quickly was playing, and it was part of the reason why y'all was successful because y'all bench was producing. So if the Bucks don't got a bench, they ain't above that rule or that status quo in the NBA. You could have a great starting five, and your bench could be, for lack of better words, T. Tom would say, doodle butter. So case in point is if that is the case, how much weight are you putting on these starters to get it done? You feel what I'm saying? They need help. When they go to the bench, if they can't score and they take the time to take the lead, that puts more pressure on the starters to perform at an even extraordinary rate. You know what I'm saying? Extraordinary. So these teams that's slated to be ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, like the Milwaukee Bucks, they supposed to be a strong one and a strong two. We see with T-Time looking at their roster, they might be a little shaky, baby. So we gonna see. Now I don't know how much better they're gonna be better than the Nets, man. But what you say?
Listen,
Now that we see the bench,
I said they bench is suspect, but Giannis and Damian Lillard and Chris Middleton, when healthy, is gonna still win them a shit ton of games. They gonna still win a shit ton of games. Excuse me. I think the place where you're gonna see the bench being an issue is in the playoffs. That's when it really starts to show that you lack depth, right? In the playoffs, when
before that,
I mean, but it really stands out in the playoffs when a team gets to see you 4+ times in a row, and they get the game plan for your starters and know how to take advantage of the people on your bench. That's when it really starts to show that you lack the efficiency on the bench. Because we've seen no name role players go crazy sometimes in the regular season. Like every once in a while, you get one of them guys that you like who, because they're paying so much attention to Damian Lillard and Chris Middleton and Giannis that you get one of those scrubs that go for like a random 20, 25 points. Like, and you be like, okay, maybe they bench is not that bad, but in the playoffs, when teams are more focused and shutting everything down. You know what I mean? That's when I think it sticks out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Pause. That's crazy. But as far as Boston go, I agree with Brockwork. Like, yeah, they would benefit from picking up Dwight Howard. Kristaps Porzingis as your five is nothing that you can rely on consistently. Losing Robert Williams is, to me, detrimental to their team. Even though he couldn't stay healthy, but he's usually healthy for the playoffs. When they make their playoff push, Robert Williams is always there. And I'm not gonna be able to say the same for Porzingis, man. I've seen 3 years of Porzingis being injured. I've seen him be injured his whole time in Dallas. I've seen him be injured in Washington. Like, so what makes you think it's gonna be any different now? You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
He's already got plantar fasciitis. Season ain't even start. You know what I mean? So
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But they used to call him the unicorn.
Shout out to my brother Fluke. Yeah. Shout out to my brother Fluke in the building.
Oh, man. See, shout out to Fluke. But he, again, the other day I posted something had nothing to do towards no Knicks fan. Me not throwing any trolls or anything like that. He says something out the blue, and I'm like, oh, that's enough for a one-on-one. Next summer we got a one-on-one. I already played a one-on-one with T-Tom, Kev. I got another one with. I gotta play JJ. Jay Fluky, and I guess maybe Fresh Hats one day. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta have more structure. But I ain't gonna lie, I have fun, man. So everything ain't structured. We all came, we play basketball. But yeah, we do want to have structure so we could chart it and say who won, when, and all of that. You know what I mean? These games gonna be. It's already recorded. You know what I mean? We always gonna remember. So shout out to Jay Fluky. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say one thing. I just wanted to air my grievance. I love the logo. I love the logo, but they got the Nets colors on the Knicks inside, and they got the Knicks colors on the Nets
Bro,
side.
give this up already, bro.
Like y'all black and white, y'all always orange and blue skies.
No,
Like what's
nobody,
happening?
no, nobody cares, bro. But you, nobody cares.
What's
But you,
happening?
bro. You
All
the
right,
only
all right,
person, only person that makes this complaint. Thank you
all
for
right,
the for
man.
the for the for the logo, Fluke, for taking time out of your day and your schedule to make us a logo.
No, we
You know what I mean?
appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. Facts.
It don't cost to us. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
know you don't work for free, but you did us a solid. Thank you. You know what I
Nah,
mean? This guy on the other side, I don't.
nah, I appreciate it. I do, I
Yeah.
do. I,
Yeah.
I honestly pulled up the bench points. It really doesn't do my conversation much justice because they got the Pacers with the most points off the bench. But I see that if this wasn't the stat, I'm pretty sure it was a stat where I seen hold on, there you go right here. The points per game. No. All right, just forget it. But you do need a strong bench to win, and I do believe that depth is more important than superstars. And I agree that the starters with Dame Lillard, Middleton, and Giannis will carry a bulk load of the wins. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, it's going to be fatigue because it's 82 games. The fact that it's an 82 game season is, I mean, it's only so much the starter's going to do. You know what I'm saying? And what I wanted to ask you before we go forward, I heard rumors that they might totally take out back to back games. I, for one, vote yes. If it's a situation where they could just make it one game up, one day apart, and where they get a day rest, I'm cool with that. But I know they want to wrap up the season around the same time every year so that the WNBA could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it come right after that. So, but what do you think about them taking out back-to-back games? It's not this season, but just maybe in the future for the NBA.
I think these millionaires need to shut up and play basketball in that aspect, bro. Like, I don't mean it in the political sense that it was that phrase was used. I mean in the sense of, yo, y'all complain too much. Y'all getting more money than the game has ever seen, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all complain about playing, bro. Y'all play a yo. I'll be tired. I'll be sick. I'll be hurt. Gotta go to work. Gotta go work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't matter. Gotta go to work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't make not even. I think I make like 0.1% of what you guys make annually, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta play basketball, bro, for real, for real. There's been guys that made half of what y'all making in the past that played 82 games, back to backs, like all the back to backs, 3 back to backs in a week sometimes, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they played 82 games. They didn't have the trainers that y'all had. They didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the luxury of travel that y'all have. Y'all have
Mm-hmm.
all the technology in your favor to keep y'all healthy and in top running shape. And all they do is complain about having to play basketball, bro. It is
Yeah.
wild to me. It is wild to me when I hear players like, "Oh man, yeah, we no more back to backs." I'm like, bro, you're making 35 million a year, bro. What you mean no more back to backs? You don't even work the whole entire year. Like you get what they get 4 months. What is it? Uh, June,
Six
July,
months.
August. You get 6 months off, half of the year. You get you get paid 30, 20, 10, whatever, how many $1 million. You a bum that probably don't get almost no PT, getting 10 million a year. You a star, 30 something million a year, and
Mm.
you only work 6 months. Play the back to backs, bro. They're already limiting the amount of back to backs that you have to play in a week, which I thought was fair. In that aspect, I thought that was fair. But yo, it's a part of the
Yeah.
game, bro. It's a part of the
Yeah.
game. Facts.
Yeah. Nah. Pretty
You know
much.
what I
That's
mean?
all. Yeah. Not
That's a
definitely.
part of the game, bro. Like, I agree with Brock. It's part of the game, and it's a part of the grind. Y'all toughen up, Buttercup. Yeah, play the
Mm-hmm.
back to backs, man. Play the
Mm-hmm.
back to backs, cause listen, bro. Us as fans, we want to see as much basketball as we can in as short a time as we can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We pay for this product. You know what I mean? Y'all making the millions because we consume the product and we want to see basketball. We want to see the stars play. You know what I mean? So play basketball, man.
Mm-hmm. No, I respect it. And to add to your point, anytime I do my research on players back in the day, majority of them are playing 82 out of 82 games. They are playing the entire season without a hiccup. They out there hooping. So that's Dr. J, that's Michael Jordan, that's the ones that we consider better than this new era. This is the separator sometimes because they play more games in a shorter time span. You know, everybody contrasts Michael Jordan and LeBron James, but you know, we talking about a 13-year career to like a 21-year career. You know what I'm saying? So if you just look at players and what they did in that 13-year career, Jordan probably is number one. Just in that, if you just make it that time span. But there's players that, you know, have more points than Jordan or may have did more. But case in point is for his era, he was definitely one of the greatest. And again, I attribute that to the games played. Not just when they were there, they were great. They were there a lot in attendance. You
Yeah.
watch some of the best basketball you ever seen, and you ain't had to have that nervousness of like, oh, is he going to play today or not? Nah, it wasn't like that. It
So
was like almost a short thing to see your favorite player back then.
I think in the Last Dance, I think he made mention to that. Like, so yo, like they or somebody did. It's like yo, Michael Jordan would never take a day off and always played his hardest because he knows that
Mhm.
there's a fan out there that this is gonna be their only time to see him play.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I
And
mean a
why
lot.
would is he? Excuse me. And why would you rob somebody of that experience? There was a segment in the Last Dance too where there was a kid and they was like, yo, the parents asked the kids, would you rather have Christmas or go see Michael Jordan play basketball? The kid said, let's skip Christmas. We want to go see the ball. And
That's
that's the
dope.
kind of those kind of stories still happen, bro. There are people making real life sacrifices to afford basketball tickets to see
Mhm.
their favorite players.
You can see
And
Jordan, you can't see Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Can Santa Claus hoop? Can the Santa Claus got the fade away? You know what I'm saying?
can Santa Claus pump the ball mid-air and dunk it? I don't think
Word.
so. But yo, but there's people that still making real life sacrifices to go see the best players play. And it's unfortunate when you find out the day of or a few hours before that the player that you're going to see is sitting out for the game. Now it's like, yo, like I waited all year for this. Like, like for instance, like Barry, we know his favorite player is KD, right?
Ben Simmons? Oh man,
Uh,
KD.
we know his favorite player is KD, right? Imagine if he never played for the Nets and it's a game KD's coming to New York and Barry saved up his money because, yo, gotta see my guy play, right?
Mhm.
And then he get the notification after he spent his hard-earned money on the tickets a couple hours before the game, KD will not play today. It's like,
That gotta hurt.
bro,
That
that's
got.
heartbreaking, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking. But yo, shout out to my guy BJ in the building. We see you, bro.
I see you, BJ. What up? Shout out
Yeah.
to RJ76. You funny. They playing great. They in the finals. They going to the finals tomorrow. And I said I was going, you know, try to do a stream, but I ain't get around to it. I might still get around to it. They play tomorrow. Listen, shout out to them. They playing in the Barclays. Hopefully that could transition over to what the Nets are doing in the Barclays, and we could get to the finals. Who knows? You know, and so it's anything's possible. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man.
Yo, Brock, well, that's facts. Jordan had bleeding feet and still finished the game.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan played with the flu, bro. Well, he flu-like symptoms. You know what I mean? We
Right.
know it was flu poisoning, but any other basketball player in today's day and age
Mm-hmm.
with Kobe tried to do the same thing and passed out on the basketball court. I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. You feel me? I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. You know what I mean? But I can't say it. I seen LeBron lead a game because of cramps, man, in the
Mhm.
playoffs. That's
Can
wild.
can we can we just kind of segue into? Do you think? I'm saying it because I think this. I think social media impacts how serious these athletes take the game. I mean,
Mm.
obviously you love the game and aspire to be a professional before you become a professional, right? But once you become a professional and you get that money and that lifestyle that you probably didn't have that same lifestyle that the money brings, you become complacent because you're a winner in life. Your mama love you. Your mama, you
Yeah.
lose the game. Your mama, you speak to her. She say, "Listen, you're a winner in life. So what? You have 0 for 22, and the fans don't love you, and they want you to get traded. So what? You help your team lose. I love you. Your mother gonna love you. Your mother always gonna love you. And I think sometimes the mindset of these players is, I won in life, and they don't have the desire to win. Not to say that's what happened with Drew Holiday and Dame Lillard, but whatever. But my point is, that's what, in my opinion, what it is. They lose the passion to compete. They just they happy with whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? They, because they love their life. And I'm saying all I have to say, T Tom, that I think social media is impacts these athletes in that way, where they not as serious as they was the era prior before social media, like the 90s. You know what I'm
I,
saying? Or the 80s.
I agree to an extent where like I think that like I feel like it ain't no real true competitors, like not as many, right? Not as many true competitors anymore in the NBA, right? You still got the guys who's all about getting a W. You got the Giannis's, you got Embiid. Like even though Embiid come up short in the playoffs, you can see that he cares about winning the championship. Guys like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's more people. Not just saying they the only two, but there's more people. But I feel like in years prior, everybody on the roster pretty much had that same competitive nature. Like they wanted to win, they wanted to beat certain teams. Like it was important for them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm starting to get that vibe because I listen to some of these podcasts. I listen to some of these current players talk,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't sound the same. Like, yeah, I I wanted to wash these guys up because of X, Y, and Z. Is more like, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, I enjoy playing basketball against him because that's my
Um,
friend. Right?
wow.
Like, yeah, and I don't get the same energy. You feel me? So to like agree, but take it a little bit further. That social media has something to do with that, and the fact that everybody's friends now. Like back in the day, these guys really didn't like each other for real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you had a
I like
few
it
of the
like that.
stars that it was few of the stars that were cool, but for the most part, everybody was like, "Yo, it could happen." Like type, you get too far out of line, we could shoot the five right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of vibe I like. Maybe because I'm from that era, but that's the kind of like vibe I like on the basketball court. Like, yeah, it could go down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that gives them you can see the competitive nature going through guys that way. Pause. Um, but
yeah,
yeah,
no.
social media definitely has I mean something to do with the competitive nature of the sport now.
Mm-hmm. Just
And
keep
guys,
it. Now listen.
yeah, my fault. And guys not really giving like physically giving it all to the game.
Mm-hmm. Nah, just keep it competitive. The training camp, as we know, it happened, and the training camp, in my opinion, decides who's going to get minutes in the playoffs. Um, I'm sorry, the preseason. You know what I'm saying? So I think certain guys, make the roster. Certain guys don't. Now I don't know your roster to you feel me to speak on your roster, but what I will say is that I know definitely the Brooklyn Nets roster. I just wanted to go through it real quick because it's like two things before we dip. I wanted to get into, and I just wanted to get into the roster real quick to let y'all know what I think is going to happen real quick. Royce O'Neal, you will see him in the preseason. Dariq Whitehead, no. Mikal Bridges, yeah, probably the first quarter just to get in and come out the game. You know how that go. Cam Johnson, no. Then DSJ, yeah. Darius Baisley, yes. Well, does he make the roster after training camp? Because does it go that way, T-Time, where there's players that get cut after training camp going into the preseason?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure Darius Baisley makes the roster, to be honest with you. But
They
the
could get
first one,
they could get
huh?
cut going into preseason or after preseason. You know what I mean? But most of the time they wait until after preseason.
Okay, so let's just say that they all go in training camp and they get cut right before regular season. I think Darius basically gets minutes to see how he plays the perimeter. He got some highlights and showed that he could play the defensive side of the ball, not necessarily a shot creator, but he serves a purpose for the Brooklyn Nets. Lonnie Walker, I think he'll get minutes to get the chance to shot create and see what he could do on the offensive side of the ball. He pretty much a great system guy. He was a player with Coach Pop. Then he went to the Lakers, and now he's on the Brooklyn Nets, and like they said, for cheap. But he has a mission while he's here, and I think he's going to be someone that we sign the long term. I think that they're going to give him a contract one day. So yes, I think he's going to get minutes. Trenton Warford, he played with Cam Thomas at LSU. I think he's going to be somebody that's going to get minutes in the preseason. You'll see him out there with Cam Thomas on the floor. Ben Simmons, he's maybe, yeah, hopefully we get to see a healthy Ben Simmons and just to get a test run. Maybe just give us a first quarter. I don't necessarily think that he'll play the whole preseason game, but I definitely want to see him play a quarter a game. If we got 4 preseason games, it'd be nice to see him every first quarter. Amani Brooks, he's like the only shooter we got. He's definitely gonna make the roster. Harry Giles, he's a big man. I think it's contingent on whether or not he makes the roster or what he does in training camp and preseason. Aaron Sharp, Jack Vaughn already said he getting big minutes this season. We already know what it is. Clowney, G League. Jalen Wilson, he's definitely going to get minutes in the preseason. Had an outstanding summer league basketball game. He was doing his thing. Cam Thomas definitely gonna get some minutes. Dinwiddie for sure, DFS for sure, Claxton for sure. These assistant coaches, but that's neither here nor there. So, what about you, T. Tom? You want to go over the Knicks roster and just the training camp and preseason?
Uh, I think. Ooh, excuse me. We already know who's gonna make the roster. Uh, I think guys like Jacob Toppin, he's probably going to make it to the G League. Yeah, the G League. And everybody else, like Jalen Martin, don't know who that guy is. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna get cut or G League. Who else? Dwayne Washington Jr. probably gonna be cut or G League. DeQuan Jeffries probably cut or G League. Dalen Wilder cut or G League. Nathan Knight will probably make the roster. Yeah, I mean, that's the guy that we got from Minnesota. He's a power forward. Isaiah Roby probably going to make the roster. Charlie Brown Jr. cut or G League. We know that. Obviously, we know the main players, so I'm not even going to mention them. And that's all the extra guys. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So our 15-man roster will most likely look like, not in any specific order, Dante DiVincenzo, Miles McBride, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, Nathan Knight, Isaiah Roby, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Jericho Sims, Ryan Arciano. I don't know if I could never pronounce that guy's name right, but hopefully I said it right. And Isaiah Hartenstein. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like the roster. There's no surprises on there. Like, you know what I mean, these are the guys that you expect to make the roster. You know what I mean? So I think for the most part, training camp and preseason, just for the most part for this roster, is to get guys in shape and acclimated to what we're gonna be doing for the year. Yeah, I mean, Coach Tommy T says that training camp is to start from square one and start building from the ground up again. Even though you got the same team, you can't skip over any of the steps.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I like to hear stuff like that. You got to start from ground one, like there's a brand new team, and build from there. And he said, well, you guys start skipping steps. You're gonna see it on the court and put in the work. That's what our preseason and training camp is for. You know what I mean? To build good habits all over again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Again, Barry, you ask this, I guess, to stir the pot every time, and I'll tell you, every time that the Nets have a brand new team, like a whole brand new team, this isn't 100% the same roster that we had after the trade deadline when we just played 28 games. There's new additions and there's players that left. So I don't want to say that we better than no team, not just the Knicks. That being said, again, I just think it's just a disingenuous question. But shout out to Barry. But that being said, I wanted to move the conversation to the in-season tournament and ask C-Town how he felt about it. Me to extent, I'm not necessarily a fan for it. I don't see what the significance is. Now they say that it's begins November 3rd. We in Group C on the East C, so we got the Celtics, Toronto, Chicago, and Orlando in our group. Now, from what it looks like, Boston's supposed to be dominating this group based on what happened prior in paper, I guess. But I don't see that happening. I see it being competitive more than them just whooping everybody ass in this in-season tournament and coming out to face, I guess, the best team in East A and East B. But I think that we will beat Orlando. I don't think Orlando is an easy act. I think they're tough to play, honestly. I think the lesser team is the Chicago Bulls, then the Toronto Raptors, or the Toronto Raptors or the Chicago Bulls. They're the two worst teams. And then Orlando, then there's the Nets, and then there's the Celtics. And the Nets and the Celtics are going to fight to come out that group to compete in a in season tournament. So that's how I feel about East C. How you feel about East B, T-Town? How you feel about that?
I want to say that this tournament's trash. It's annoying. You know what I mean? It's a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
And you I don't want guys risking themselves getting hurt for something that don't really matter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is a money grab, and that's that. But yeah, I like our chances in East B. I think Miami is not as good as they was last year. I think that they don't beat us because the people that beat us are not there anymore. You know what
Right.
I mean? People like to say Jimmy Butler gave us work, but if you look at the stats, he really didn't. He was pedestrian. He was not pedestrian. He was average for him. You know what I mean? Like, he was average for him. He didn't do anything extraordinary. He was average for him. You know what I mean? It was the guys like Gabe Vincent and Strus and Martin. Those guys is the ones who beat us. Yeah, I mean, Martin is still there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other guys are gone. But anyway, the Bucks, obviously, they're going to be a tough contender to deal with. I got to see them play before I say I don't like our chances against them. You know what I mean? I don't know what Damian Lillard and Giannis look like. But on paper, we could go with it and say that they're the favorites in this group. The other two teams, not worried about at all. Not worried about all. Washington, not worried about them. The juvenile delinquent Hornets, not worried about them. You know what I mean? These guys is worried about social media and court cases more than they are playing actual basketball. So not worried about them. But I like our chances. You know what I mean?
So you feel like y'all could come out East B? I think we could come out EC. We play our cards right. We could come out EC.
I'm the Bucks is my biggest worry. You know what I mean?
It's not that competitive. It's like one team that's really competitive with the Celtics. I just, and I'm not trying to knock the Bulls, but they don't have Lonzo and Patrick Beverly not there, and it's just a Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Vooch. That's their big three. I'm not impressed. You know what I mean?
With the Cavs and the Sixers is going to be a tough
Right.
matchup.
I think Indiana, they got a good starting five. I don't know how well
Yeah.
but they bench scored a lot of points last season, so they might be a sleeper team. like a play-in playoff team. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But yeah, East A look like they got the toughest competition. But Atlanta fell off. I don't see how they got better in the offseason.
They didn't. I don't think they made any significant moves, bro. Aside from firing their coach.
That's crazy, man. These coach stars superstars be getting coaches fired. Like I remember it went bad with Deron Williams and Sloan. Remember that he was in Utah and then he came to the Nets. That shit just was not. It's just not a good look most times. What
And the
about
crazy
going over
part is,
to the?
you in Atlanta, they fired the coach that took a team that wasn't supposed to go to the Eastern Conference Finals to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's crazy, right?
I can never agree with that. I like Nate McMillan. I thought he was the point guard in the NBA, and he worked well with Trae Young. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened over there. I just wanted to ask you about the West though, too, man. West C. Who I'm gonna be I'll just cause it ain't my team and I don't really, analyze them like that. I don't really know. I'm gonna just say the Thunder. I say the Thunder they might win that. You know what I mean? Now obviously they might not be the favorite in that group, but I'm gonna go off and say the Thunder. What about you?
The Thunder will be exciting to watch. You know what I mean? They get Shaq Hold'em this season. They're gonna be exciting to watch, but I'm going with the Golden State Warriors, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never betting against Steph, man. I'm never betting against Steph. Like, I've seen him do some amazing things, man. Like, so it's hard to bet against that. You know what I mean? They got Jordan Poole off the team. I think in some aspects he was kind of holding that team back and stagnating the offense because he thought he was Steph. And they could go back to the natural order of the way they do things over there. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be they ain't really make no moves neither, but it's gonna be exciting to see. You can't sleep. I like the parity because the Kings are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they proved that last season. So it's good parity in West C with those two. The Wolves, I just don't believe in Cat, man. I think he's a very talented guy, but I just don't believe in him, bro. Like, he gives me nothing to believe in and be like, oh, yeah, Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I forgot. Ant-Man is on that team, too. So, yeah, I think East, like the West, there's some parity in their tournament. Like, I think it's 3 teams in each group that has a chance. Because now that I forgot that Ant-Man is on the Wolves, that changed my perspective.
Right. No, I'm listening to you. I just wanted to check the actual rules of it. To see how like what is it like, you know what I mean? Like what is the actual rules of it? I just touched something. I ain't really gonna touch that. My bad. Pause. What's the rules? All right, so but before we get into the rules, let's just get into West B. West B, I would say I would is Harden on the Clippers or no?
Nah, he's still the Sixer, man.
Okay. I'm not picking the Clippers just because it's confusion. The Pelicans, I like them, but I think they missing a point guard. The Rockets, they could potentially do something in a situation like a in-season tournament. Fuck it, I'll go with the Rockets, man. I really think that Dallas might win it, but I don't see them as having a bench. I don't, it's just something missing about Dallas Mavericks. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I don't like Dallas. Obviously, the obvious pick would be the Denver Nuggets, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just pick the Rockets. I'm gonna pick the Rockets out in the West.
I think that was a wild pick, but
yeah, it's a wild pick.
I think is this out of all of them is the most parity because even though I might not be in love with the way that the Mavericks team is constructed, it's still hard to bet against Kyrie and Luka. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen with those two guys. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think out of all of the groups in the in season tournament, this group West B has the best parity.
Yeah.
Of course, the Clippers. You always got to see who's going to be healthy around that time.
It's the beginning of the season too. This November 3rd. They
Yeah,
better be healthy.
Still, I've seen Kawhi miss many a games in the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? So, and then the same thing with is Zion going to be around? You know what I mean? Like, these are things you got to kind of take into consideration. But looking past all of that, I'm still going with the Nuggets. Even if everybody's healthy, still going with the Nuggets. I don't see anybody beating them in this group. Yeah. West
All
A.
right. All right. So you say you got the Nuggets. So West A. All right. I definitely don't got the Grizzlies from what I could see. Um, Again, you know how I rock, man. I like the underdog team. Obviously, the go tos are LA or Phoenix, but fuck that. I'm gonna go with the Portland Trailblazers. Maybe
That's
they I think I
wow.
think I think this is what the in season tournament is about. You know, this is their success for the season. You know, these teams that look like they're going to be doing something maybe next year or something like that. It's a team to look out for. I think that's what this is about. Like you said, it's a money grab. It's not even necessarily the team to pay attention to this season, but you get to actually pay attention to these games. A game that you might look over because they quote unquote making it an in season tournament. They might have better attendance, better, it's just kind of like putting more worth to it or whatnot. So I think Portland could win that. But I will say that because it is the beginning of the season, they might not, because it is fairly a new team that's being assembled over there. They got a lot of new additions on that team. I don't even know if they're going to start the season with that same roster. But realistically, I think the Suns might win that. But I'm kind of rooting for Scoot the Malou, Scoot Henderson in the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. Uh, Lakers. It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were speaking about it last night. Like, I don't think the guys on the panel was giving the Lakers the credit that they deserve. If AD stays healthy, uh, it's gonna be scary because granted they might not be the best defensive team. I don't think they're gonna be as bad as people last night were saying they're gonna be. Uh, and there's bucket getters on that whole entire roster.
Mm-hmm.
That whole entire roster, bro. Like, it's mad people on the Lakers that I could say that, yo, you could give them the ball and they could go get you a bucket. Like, no help from nobody. they they could go get you a bucket. And I'm about to tell you who right now. Right? So outside of AD and LeBron, the people that could go out there on the Lakers and get you a bucket, I'm pulling up their roster.
Rui for sure.
Rui, absolutely. D'Lo, uh, Cam Reddish, Gabe Vincent.
I'm low on D'Lo. I don't like D'Lo like I used to no more, man.
Austin Reeves. We said Hachimura already. Christian Wood. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like 4 or 5 people I just named, not named AD or LeBron, that could go and just get you a bucket. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So
You got the Lakers, but just to get to it, right? Because we don't got much time. Where is that? Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. So boom, 30 teams. The in-season tournament is an opportunity to further enhance and innovate around our season structure. Yada 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 yada. Group play, as revealed today on ESPN and outlined below, all 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 with their conference based randomly. Yeah, whatever, based on win-loss records from the 2022-2023 regular season. Okay, each team will play 4 designated group play games, 1 game against each opponent in its group. So it's 1 game per team. Okay, one with 2 games at home and 2 on the road. All right, on tournament nights, which will take place every Tuesday and Friday from November 3rd to the 28th. So the month of November. Okay, with the exception of Election Day on the 7th of November. All right. The only NBA games played on tournament nights will be group play games. Knockout rounds. 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing in group play games is each of the 6 groups in 2 wild cards. The team from each conference with the best record in group play games that finish second in its group. The knockout rounds will consist of a single elimination games in the quarterfinals. Okay, one game and you out. Played in NBA team markets on Monday, December 4th, and Tuesday, December 5th, and semifinals and championship played in Las Vegas on December 7th and December 9th, respectively. The knockout teams will compete for a prize pool in the new in-season tournament trophy, the NBA Cup. Whatever. It's confusing to me because it's like now you play who's contingent in the tournament, but it's like that don't mess up the schedule. So I don't know.
Nah, so they are so how they did it. They have it accounted for that the amount of games that teams are going to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that for the championship game and the knockout rounds, they don't know who they're playing. Like, but the games are still counted for. Every team's still going to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they don't know who they're going to play for that set part. But the number of games is going to stay the same. Like, you feel me?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know if I like it, but I see what you're saying. It say the
I don't
67
like it. It's stupid.
Yeah, it say the 67 games across both stages of the in-season tournament will count towards the regular season standings except the championship. Each team will continue to play 82 regular season games in the season, including those games that are part of the group play and knockout rounds. 4 group play teams, 2 games on each tournament night, and all 7 knockout round games will be televised nationally. The game and broadcast schedule for this in-season tournament group play stage will be announced in August, which they did. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. It's like a 1-game elimination type situation, obviously, to keep it 82 games. So like it's mid. This is a mid tournament for me. Not so much of a fan of it, but it is what it is. I know we're about to close out, and I just before we did T-Time, I just wanted to ask you about what ESPN said, because you know how you feel about the ESPN predictions. I know you said they were wrong one year. And this year they didn't slot you guys the same way they did that year. You guys are a little higher than that. They got the Nets at 40 and 42. I definitely disagree. I think we are above a 500 team, but they got the Knicks at 46 and 36, looking like around 6th place, 5th, 6th place, right there with Miami. The top 5 they got this. They got the Boston. They got the Celtics with 55, Bucks 54, Cleveland Cavaliers 50, 76ers 47 wins, Miami Heat 46, and again the Knicks at 46 wins. You agree with this or no?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not. One, the Cavs are not better than the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know what I mean? They're not better. If you think the Cavs gonna win 50 games, then you can say the Knicks gonna win 51. You know what I mean? The same thing with Miami. If they beat us in the playoffs, not the same team. Don't think they're better than the Knicks. Like, we should definitely be top 4. You know what I mean? If not top 5. You know what I mean? Definitely be top 4.
So you would swap out Cleveland Cavaliers and Miami Heat. That's 2 spots right there. So that would make you out of, you would say Boston, Milwaukee, you give them that, and the 76ers, you'll say they're above the
I'm not even saying the 76ers because James Harden is discontent on that team and he's going to sink that ship.
So those 3, 4, and 5 is suspect, basically.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it too, T-Time. I don't think they solidified at those spots. I do think that the Celtics and Bucks toggle between 1 and 2, but that 3, 4, and 5, they not solid. Those 3 teams are not solid to hold those seedings. I think the Nets and the Knicks could be in those conversations for sure.
So I think
3, 4, 5.
I think the Knicks is going to be higher than what they're saying. Last season, I think we won around, how many games we won? We won 47 games last season. They got us winning less games than we won last season, which is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to me. I think me and another my what Jay called us my Nick committee. We think that we gonna
Shout out
be
to Jay.
around a 50-win team this season. Like it's not hard to believe that we could win 3 more games.
Mm-hmm.
We started out the season bad.
Nah, I
We start
remember.
we started out the season bad. Is the part of the reason why Evan Fournier got benched. You know, so to say that we can't win 3 more games to be a 50-win team, you don't think that Jalen Brunson is going to be better than he was last year? You don't think Julius Randle is going to continue to do what he's already proven for 2 out of the last 3 seasons that he could do? Like, you don't
Shit.
think RJ, who's a player that's continually gotten better every year he's been in the NBA, is going to continue to progress? Like, same thing with Emmanuel quickly. Like, I think they also forget the natural progression of players getting better. It's a young team. Like,
Mm-hmm.
these are not old veterans you're looking at that you pretty much know what they're going to be for the rest of their career. We're looking at guys who still evolving and still becoming better NBA players. You don't think these guys are going to get better and more chemistry and camaraderie on the team is going to win 3 more games to make them a 50-win team?
Mm.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like, for them and to me, I know what it is. Knicks for clicks. ESPN always shits on the Knicks. Even when even during the Melo era, like when we won 50-something games, they didn't have us slated high. They said our roster was old. Like none of those, we not going to win because we playing with a whole bunch of old players and all that. We won 53 games that season and went to the second round. We should have went further, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, F ESPN and they whack. Yeah, wait, was it ESPN two? They got Julius Randle at like 54 at the top best players in the NBA and got Evan Mobley ranked higher than him. Bruh,
Mm-mm.
nasty work. ESPN is haters. You
Mm-hmm.
heard?
Yeah,
Haters.
yeah. And they gotta be careful because they get in competition. One time, ESPN was running things heavy. Now there's it's a little different, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you got certain opinions. Like I just look at the standings, we had 45 wins last season. I'm like, damn, they got us at 40 and 42. Like they ain't even giving us no hope now, man. But again, we the underdogs, and I know we're gonna prove them wrong. But listen, I know it's getting close to that time, time.
Yes,
And I want
sir.
to say I appreciate the chat. I appreciate Cook Coach Alive. We did it. Looking. I want y'all to look into my eyes, man. Pause. Look into my Nets fan eyes to see the window of my Nets fan soul. We did it. From April to October, we rocked out once again every week, unless it was an emergency. We weren't here. And that fans, y'all helped us get here, and I appreciate y'all. We appreciate it. And listen, the season is here. Have no fear. The season is here. Next time we see y'all, we definitely got a preseason game on October 9th. And there's more. We'll be back soon in that when Coach Alive, maybe, but to be announced. But again, till next time, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace,
Word. Peace. I holla.
y'all.